There was some vocabulary. That all went awesome, by the way. Now we're going to talk about how we label angles. So first, definition of an angle. I mean, I know you can all look at something, you know what an angle is just from, being alive until high school. But the official geometry definition, it is two rays that share a vertex. Oops. So the vertex is the place where they meet, and that's the center point. So two rays, the rays are like the clock hands, and they share a vertex. So if they were separated like this, two separate rays, which letter would you have to start with to name this ray? Would it be BA or AB? BA, good. And then this one would be BC. I don't know why there's another box there. We don't really need that one. But if you connect them together and they meet at B, this is your vertex point. So the center one. So symbols, again, more symbols and vocabulary. That's kind of what geometry is. The symbol for an angle is like this. You will see most people just write it like that. When I took geometry in high school, my teacher put this symbol through it as well. It's kind of like when you draw a 7, you put the line through. Do you know what you're talking about? Because I do that as well. So you will see me draw it this way because that's just how I got used to doing it. But you can just go like that, and that means angle. So whatever is your handwriting preference. And then the symbol for degree is just a little circle. You've seen that with like degrees Fahrenheit, right? Like degree or degrees Celsius. So, all right, we've got acute, right, and obtuse. I'm just going to throw the question out there and see what I get back. I'm going to go fishing, so to speak. Does anyone know what acute means as far as angles? Perfect. Less than 90. Awesome. So a picture of that would be something like this. I don't know. I didn't draw that to any kind of scale, but something that's smaller than 90. And you guys already told me this when we were talking about perpendicular. Right is 90 degrees. And when we draw that, we put the little square in there to show that it's 90. Less than 90 equals 90, and then this is obtuse is, yeah, more than 90. And so that would look something like that, like it opens wider. And so a straight angle, which you won't hear that one quite as much, would be 180 degrees. And it looks just like a line. It's not even really particularly an angle. But a straight line is 180. We'll talk a lot about that. So straight line is 180. Yeah, 120 would be obtuse. 130 would be obtuse. So somewhere, I guess, between 90 and 180. Yeah. Congruent, again, fancy geometry word that means equal. It means same size and shape. So if you have two congruent angles, means they're the same amount of degrees. And again, congruent is this symbol, equals with a little squiggly on top of it. Bisect means cut in half. So exactly in half. So if you cut a segment in half, you get two congruent sides. If you bisect an angle, you get two congruent angles. So cut it in half. Let's draw a little picture of that too. If you have this angle, if you cut it exactly in half, and again, it's to scale because I'm not a perfect artist there, you would put your little tick marks in there to show that they are congruent. So this angle and this angle would be the same amount of degrees. And then lastly, you have adjacent angles. What does the word adjacent mean just in life? Like if two things are adjacent, they are like next to each other. Like you're adjacent to the person next to you. So it means that they have, that basically just means that they're next to each other. It means they have a common side, I guess, and vertex. So this one, I'm not going to draw another one because these would be adjacent angles. They share a side. They're next to each other. Adjacent just means next to. And I think we were going to do, well, you know what? I don't have any on here on name. We're going to need to go over naming the angles. This is a protractor, which is how you measure angles. So we're just going to look at these real quick. And then I need to just do a little separate quick thing on how to name the angle. Or you know what? Maybe we'll just do the whole thing together. I was thinking I would make you do it as an exit ticket. Maybe we'll just do the whole thing together. I'm changing my mind as I go along here. So you start here, and it's how far you made it is how many degrees you went. So when you look at this, this passes through both the 60 and the 120. But which one, well, hold on, let me finish real quick. If this is your angle, does it make more sense that it's the 60 or the 120 if this is all the further that we went? Yeah, because I'm hearing both. Let me just, to compare and contrast, just look at this one. If you made it all the way over to here, like your angle was bigger, see, that also goes through the 60 and the 120, but you have to think about which one makes more sense, like how far you went. So is this one acute or obtuse? It's acute, so which number do you think has to be your amount of degrees? Yes, 60. It has to be the smaller one. And so this one where you made it all the way, that would be the 120. So when you use a protractor, it kind of goes through two numbers, but you have to pick the one that makes sense, whether it's more or less than 90. And then this one is obviously 90. And then we're going to go through naming angles, and we'll just do this together. I was thinking I would have you do something on your own, but it's day one of going over these, so we'll just do this together, and we'll still end early. You'll still have some free time at the end. So classifying, acute, obtuse, or right. What do you think? Right? Perfect. Doing awesome. So when you name an angle, kind of like a ray, the order does matter. The vertex, which in this case is F, has to go in the middle. So the ways you could label it would be angle GFH, or angle HFG, but the vertex, the middle one, has to go in the middle. Basically, it does make sense. Or you can actually just call it angle F if you were going to only label it with one letter. It could just be angle F. Oh, and then the vertex is F. That's kind of a redundant question. But let's just try it again. Again, the vertex has to go in the center. What do you think of this one for classifying it? Yeah, perfect. Obtuse. And what's one way we could name it? Angle. Yep, MNP. Perfect. I love that you guys are talking to me. I was nervous when we played that game earlier and no one wanted to open up, but you guys are doing awesome with this. All right, MNP or PNM. Perfect. Or just N, just the vertex. Cool, last one. So this one is little, it's less than 90, so acute. And you could name it. CBA. Yep, good. ABC or CBA. Just B has to go in the middle because it's the vertex. Or just B.